Hi, I'm David. I was born to a wealthy family. My father owned a company, so Michael and I wanted for nothing. Michael is my brother. He's a couple years older than me. He was always serious and tried to study hard. Right after college, he started helping our father run his business. I was his complete opposite and often skipped classes. Why bother when we already had everything? I could be spending much more time pleasantly. For example, I could be hanging out and chatting with beautiful girls. Michael didn't approve of my behavior. He was constantly lecturing me and complaining to our dad. I thought he was a bore, and I thought I was wasting my life. Long story short, we didn't get along. One day, I was hanging out at a club with my friends. I bought a new car today! Here, check it out! Nick showed us pictures of a black BMW. Tomorrow, I'll get myself one that's even better. What about your strict brother? Won't he punish you for spending money again? Everyone laughed, and I got angry. Nobody tells me what to do, got it? Least of all, Michael. The next day, I took money from the family safe, bought a brand new Ferrari, called some girls, and drove them around the city. David, you're so cool. A cool car, beautiful girls, and a couple of credit cards in my pocket. What a perfect life. Soon, I stopped at a club and suddenly saw a familiar Jeep nearby. Damn it, it was Michael. My brother came up to us and demanded I get out of the car. Then, he yelled at the girls and told them to leave. You can't tell me what to do. You bought this car using the money Dad and I had earned. Who are you showing off to, David? Those girls only want your money. They hang out with me because I'm cool, and you're just jealous. Michael suddenly laughed. That jerk. He had humiliated me in front of those girls. And now he was laughing. I decided to snap back at him. My perfect brother had one weakness. Maybe you react to girls like this because you can't forget your girlfriend. What was the name of the girl who broke your heart again? Shut up! As you might have guessed, that conversation did not end well. Michael dragged me to our father. It had happened before, so I wasn't nervous. But that time, things were different. You haven't earned a cent in your life. All you do is spend other people's money. From this day on, things will change. It might be hard to believe, but my father kicked me out of the house, blocked all my cards, and took away the car keys. Keep your money. I'll be fine without you. As I was leaving, Michael tried to slip me some money. Of course, I pushed him away. I didn't need charity. I had nowhere to go, so I called Nick. Can I stay at your place? My friend said yes, and I came over. Nick's family was rich too. His parents owned a chain of car shops. I basically just moved from one beautiful house to another. Nick was always at some business courses, and I was lying in a room and playing video games. He sympathized with me and lent me some money. So I didn't try to save up for anything. In the evenings, I hung out in clubs as usual. One day, Nick came home and saw me leaving for a party. Back to the club? Yeah, wanna come with? You know what? I'm sick of this. You live off me and don't even try to change anything. Why don't you find a job? I didn't think you were that petty. I'm your best friend. Can't you just give me some money? That's not the point. I'm helping my parents, and even though it's summer, I'm studying. I've earned money for the car myself, and you're used to using money you haven't earned. Don't worry, I won't bother you anymore. We had a fight and I left. I had a lot of friends. I was sure I would easily find another place to stay, but that turned out harder than I thought. My friends already knew about my situation, and no one wanted to let me in. Even the girls who'd sworn eternal love to me turned their back on me. I didn't want to admit it, but Michael had been right about some things. I only had a few bills in my pocket. It wouldn't even be enough for me to rent a normal house. I didn't know what to do, and then I remembered something. My mother was staying in a neighboring town. She had died, but her house was still there. We hadn't stayed there in a long time. I used the last of the money to get there. As far as I remembered, the old neighbor had the keys. She recognized me right away and let me in. It was dusty and uncomfortable inside. Of course, it wasn't what I was used to, but I could stay there. I went to bed and immediately fell asleep. The next morning, I looked around more carefully. There was a garage next to the house and an old pickup truck in it. The old lady had the keys to it too. To my surprise, I managed to start the pickup. It wasn't a Ferrari, but at least I wouldn't have to walk. By lunchtime, I was terribly hungry. My pride wouldn't let me ask neighbors for food. I decided to sell an expensive watch of mine. However, when I came to the appraiser, they offered me an absurdly small sum for it. It cost 5 times that. You're free to leave if that's not enough for you. I had no choice but to agree. On the way home, I stopped by a store. When I walked in, I accidentally bumped into a girl. Wow, I wasn't expecting to meet such a beauty in that dump. Hi, I'm David. What's your name? She turned shy and looked away. Amina? The girl was very cute. She was not in a hurry, but I managed to get her number before she left. We spent all evening chatting on the phone, and I managed to convince her to go on a date with me. The next day, I bought a bouquet of flowers and brought Amina to the best club. Of course, it was only the best compared to other clubs in that tiny town. A lot of local young people hung out there. Hey, Amina, come join us! A group of people were sitting at a table. It turned out to be Amina's acquaintances. I quickly got to know everyone. One guy was bothering me. As far as I could tell, he liked Amina too. Frank spent the evening asking me questions and trying to find out something compromising about me. What do you do? Why did you move here? I didn't want to talk about my rich family, so I lied. I just decided to start a business here. Really? Looking at you, it's hard to believe you are capable of doing anything serious. Frank's words infuriated me. At that moment, he reminded me of the constant reproaches of my father and brother. I decided that I really needed to start my own business and prove that I could achieve anything without help. In the morning, I cleaned up the house and the garage and found an inflatable pool among all the junk there. All of a sudden, I got a crazy but brilliant idea. Since I didn't have a pool in my house, I would put it in the pickup truck. It took a lot of effort, but the result was worth it. I filled the pool with water, turned on loud music, and came to Amina. She was stunned when she saw the pickup. Wow, it's so cool! We drove around the city all evening and had a great time. The passerbys stared at us. Hey, how much does it cost to take a ride in it? How much did it cost? The next day, I figured out how to make some money and decided to create a new type of car parties. I could make a mean cocktail and developed a whole menu of drinks. I built a bar into the pickup truck and asked Amina to call her friends. We had a loud party and drove around the city. I had printed flyers in advance and we gave them to passers-by. Soon, my phone started blowing up. It turned out that there were a lot of people interested in having a party in the pickup truck. But I couldn't fit so many people in one car. That's when I came up with a new plan and called Nick. Listen, I overreacted last time. I'm sorry. Now, I want to start a business. Why don't you join me? I told him about my idea of car parties. Nick liked it and brought some pickups from his parents' shops. We put pools inside of them and threw a party in the country. We set up an open-air cinema and ordered snacks. It was amazing. A ton of young people were having fun in the pools and watching movies. Your ideas are awesome! This is the best party I've ever been to! I earned a decent amount of money at that party and immediately gave Nick his share. I tried to remember everything I had been taught at college and developed a whole project with Nick's help, of course. I felt poor, but, surprisingly enough, I liked such poverty. Amina supported me and helped me. It didn't take long for me to fall in love with her. She wasn't like the others. She was interested in my money, but simply believed in me. Speaking of love, it seemed like every single girl in the city had fallen in love with me. Look, this is the guy that throws cool parties. For some reason, they thought I was a romantic. One of them was particularly persistent. I think her name was Lexi. She followed me everywhere and sent me dumb heart-shaped notes. One day, she even came to my house. My friends and I are going to have a bachelorette party. Could you organize it? I should have told her no right away. That bachelorette party turned into a nightmare. Lexi spent the whole evening flirting with me. David, I really like you. More than like you. Before I knew it, she was kissing me. I opened my eyes and saw Amina nearby. She was looking right at us. Then she burst into tears and ran away. I immediately rushed after her. Please forgive me. I don't know how it happened. I only need you. Please go out with me. Amina was still angry, but let me walk her home. It was a good sign. She forgave me in a couple of days, and we became a couple. One day, we were sitting at my house. Tell me, what is it like to live in a big city? It's nothing special, just a lot of hustle and bustle and traffic jams. And who are your parents? My mom died when I was little, and my dad and I don't get along very well. I didn't like answering such questions and tried to change the subject. All of a sudden, I saw a Jeep drive up to the house through the window. A moment later, Michael got out of it. What was he doing there? Amina noticed him, too, and abruptly got up from her seat. I'll go since you have guests. I don't want to be a bother. She left so fast I didn't even have time to stop her. Soon, my brother walked into the house. You seem to be doing all right. Let's get to the point. Why did you come here? I heard rumors that you moved into Mom's house and even became famous here. I expected more from you. You wouldn't earn much for such parties. That's not real business. As usual, Michael made me angry. He was always pretending to be a cool know-it-all. I'm doing great, okay? I even found a girlfriend and she's super nice. You'll never learn. If I were you, I wouldn't trust the local girls. You should be careful. His lectures were so annoying. If that's all you wanted to say, then get lost. Michael sighed. After he left, I thought about it. I really did want to grow my business. What if we launched car parties in other cities? Nick and I discussed it and decided to try. We started a company and took out a small loan. At first, it was stressful, but soon the business started to turn a profit. I could finally give Amina expensive gifts and take her to the best restaurants. Things got better, but one day, I suddenly got a call from my father. "I've heard about your success. I am ready to take you back and give you a small position in the company." I hesitated and didn't know what to say. On one hand, I was still angry with him, but on the other, a position in the company meant a promising future. I eventually agreed and decided to work for him and kept developing my own business. I had to go home and told Amina about it. "Will you come with me?" I thought she would be happy, but for some reason Amina started crying. "What's wrong? Did I say something wrong?"
No, but it's about your brother we used to date. He probably told you about it. Well, let me tell you my side of the story. I didn't do anything wrong. He was always mean to me. He kept pointing out that I was poor and not his equal.
I was shocked. Amina was the girl my brother was still mad at? Knowing Michael, I immediately believed she was innocent. In the end, I convinced Amina to come with me. We came to a family dinner together. I wanted to work things out, but I underestimated Michael. When he saw her, he turned red with anger. "You again? What is she doing here? Throw her out!" I started shaking with anger. "Don't you dare talk to her like that. Dad, why aren't you saying anything?" Father took Michael's side. "Either you break up with her, or you can forget about the family business." I was furious. I took the trembling Amina by the hand and we left. Why did my brother always have to ruin my life?
I'm sorry that you argued with your family because of me.
It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. It's all Michael. I went back to developing my business. Nick and I were still making pool pickups, but at some point we started having problems. At first, we lost investors. Then, there were delays at work. Our business was falling apart. Amina had also grown twitchy for some reason. She was often annoyed, and I barely recognized her. "What's wrong with you?"
Leave me alone. Everything's fine.
Maybe she was in trouble but didn't want to talk about it? One day, she asked me to take her to a club. I didn't have much money at that point, but managed to find some to get us in. We sat down at a table, and Amina started ordering the most expensive dishes. "I can't pay for this right now. Could you choose something cheaper?
Or maybe you should just make up with your father."
"No, that's not going to happen." Amina suddenly jumped out of her seat.
"In that case, we're done. I'm not going to date a bum."
It felt like I had been hit.
What did she say? Do you really think I fell in love with you because you're handsome and romantic? I knew who you were from the very beginning. Our meeting in the store wasn't an accident. Things didn't work out with one brother, so I decided to try my luck with the other one. But unlike Michael, you are just a loser."
At that moment, Frank came up to our table. She took his arm and they left. For the first time in my life, I didn't understand what was going on. The realization came to me in the morning. Amina was a great actress who only needed my money. Michael had been right again. I had nothing left. No girlfriend, no business, just a pickup truck with a pool in it. I was lying on the couch and staring at the ceiling when I heard the front door slam shut. An excited Nick came into the room and handed me some reports. "You won't believe what I found out. I asked my parents about their connections and found out that your father had helped our project. He had found sponsors and even invested some money himself. It was only thanks to him that things had worked out. But recently, he had stopped helping, so our business had collapsed. Heck, what had my father done? He had kicked me out of the house and left me with no money." I swallowed my pride and went to see him again. I was sure he wouldn't want to meet me, but my father immediately agreed to talk. "I know you helped my business. Why? I've always known you were talented. You simply weren't motivated enough. I took away everything from you so that you would try to make something of yourself. And then I made you believe in yourself. But in the end, everything fell apart. It seems I can't do anything for myself after all. You did very well for the first time. You just need to study some more." We made up, and I spent the rest of the holidays working for Dad's companies and gaining experience. I didn't talk to Michael for a long time, but one day we ran into each other at work. "I'm sorry, I acted like an idiot. You were right about everything." "I'm sorry too. I guess I really can be annoying." Our relationship improved, and then I suddenly got a call from Amina.
"Sorry, I said some nonsense back then. Let's start over."
She only wanted to come back because I had reconciled with my family. It was obvious, so I didn't listen to her and just blocked her. After the holidays, I went to college. One day, I was sitting in the dining room during a break when a heart-shaped note suddenly fell on my table. It looked familiar. I turned around and saw Lexi. She came over and sat down on one of the empty chairs.
I'm a freshman here now. Great, right?
She constantly follows me around and confesses her love to me. Her persistence is unnerving, but at the same time pleasant. I thought about asking her out, but I think I'll never be able to trust girls again. What do you think I should do?